Hello out there, all you wonderful people. This is Andre, the Game Idea Guy. Thank you once again for lending me your time and your ear, listening into another 3DS Game Ideas video. And this time I'm going to be talking about Kid Chameleon. I've always been a fan of Kid Chameleon since I've played it on the Genesis way back in the day. I've never actually beaten it. I find that to be shameful. But I've gotten to the end of the game multiple times and have had fun as well as frustrations with this game getting there. There are times where I can be on point playing this game and I will speed run right through it and get to the end of the game and just not be able to beat the final boss. And then there are other times where I'll slog through it and it's just like, why am I so off? I know how to beat these things. I know how to do this. I've done it before. But I think it would be a cool game for the 3DS. One, to get a revamp, update the visuals a little bit, maybe give it more of a cell shaded look, which I think would complement the game and the gameplay style a lot. If Sega would be willing to do that, then to implement an inventory system. One of the biggest downfalls of Kid Chameleon is that when you lose your powers, you have no way to either recover with an additional power or to replace it with another power. And I think if they set it up so that you could carry at least 2 to 3 additional powers and then utilizing like the bottom touch screen in order to be able to switch between them, that would expand the gameplay and it would probably make it a little bit less difficult. And then you can take powers into situations that you probably wouldn't normally be able to, because it might not be available in a certain level. And it's with the difficulty of this game, sometimes trying to make it to a certain point with a specific power is hard as hell. So allowing a player to be able to carry maybe 2 to 3 different ones, where you can get the Ram, the Samurai, and the Michael Myers inspired different power-ups. Because I would carry them around, especially when you get the power-ups that are rare to find, because some of them honestly don't show up in the game very often. They're only in specific levels because the levels are basically designed around those powers. The tornado one where you can fly upward, or the hoverboard one, which is kind of more like the Back to the Future hoverboard yeah, me forgetting people's names. I constantly forget names. But the hoverboard is kind of like that in nature, but where it auto propels itself, but you can only really use it in certain levels that are built around that level that are aesthetically designed for that, where it can also jump to the ceiling and floor back and forth. There aren't a whole lot of levels that utilize certain power-ups, and if you could carry those power-ups with you to certain other levels, some of them would become drastically easier, and others it could break some levels because of how platforming is set up and the way you'd be able to avoid it with those powers if you could carry them with you. That's also why I kind of want to limit the power-ups, because there are some power-ups people just don't like certain other power-ups, and they will only use them when they have to anyhow. But then there are ones that you want to be able to carry with you because you might not be able to find it in a particular level because it's just not there. And that power-up can actually help you get through a level. A lot of the Egyptian pyramid type stages, I love to go through those with the Michael Myers power-up, because I know that's not what it's called. I would want to just call it the Splatterhouse power-up, but I don't even think that's appropriate. I like that one. I guess you call it the Axe Murderer power-up? Maybe. But I like to carry that one into those levels because there are a lot of enemies that fire projectiles at you, and he throws his axes back, and it makes it easier or more manageable to get through some of those enemies with that character, that form in particular. Man, it was something else I was thinking about. But I just think in the long run, it would be a cool game to put on the platform. And if with updates like that, it could make it more accessible to people, but without actually killing the difficulty curve that the game currently has. Like, I like that it's as difficult as it is because it presents a real challenge to me as a player. I just wish that there were certain things I could do that would allow me to circumvent certain challenges that I kind of hate repeatedly having to deal with. So I guess that's the best way to put it. But yeah, either way, Kid Chameleon would be, like, an updated version of Kid Chameleon would be a good fit for the 3DS. So thank you guys very much for listening. Keep your eyes and ears up for more stuff from me. And until the next time, please enjoy the news and peace out.